Ready അല്ലേ രണ്ടുപേരും? Yes. So Ankit, your 1 minute starts now.
Adopt and exchange, one of the finest human qualities out there, has surged enough to see a new dawn. A dawn with the introduction of foreign universities across the country. And hence, honorary judges, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this side of the house. This side where it's no longer a dream, but in fact is on its way to be a reality. A strata of reality, a strata of impact. Foreign universities have never just been about mesmerizing infrastructure, but have been about shaping an individual for global enhancement, global engagement, providing enough student accommodation, and the magnitude of growth is super high right now, and of course, a broad opportunity, along with exposure, may it be cultural or methodological. And also, we have seen how the Indian government is keen enough to wheedle this inclusion, this entry of foreign universities. And now we all know why. Think about it. Thank you.
You done? All right. Now, Gautam, you will get 1 minute and your time starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by addressing the fallacy that foreign universities will bridge the gap in quality education in India. Let me start by highlighting the fact that India already has a huge divide between haves and have-nots, and this divide will only be exacerbated with the advent of foreign universities because the privileged few will get to reap the benefits of a foreign degrees where others don't. Remember, it's not just about poverty. India is a country where when the poor have cried, the underprivileged, the socially underprivileged have wept. Let me highlight the sheer lack of transparency and the flawed admission process of most foreign universities. There are numerous studies which prove the existence of legacy admissions, which means that if my family has contributed to the university or has ties to the university, I have a 33% more chance of being admitted into the university. In a country that is already plundered by nepotism, how remotely fair is this conjecture? Let me also highlight the fact that the UGC norms are the biggest comedy I have seen in decades. Thank you.
Yes. So Gautam and Ankit, your 1 minute has ended. Now we move to the debate and your time starts now.
The whole concept of foreign university, which according to you, my friend, is very swindling, has been approved by the Indian government, the UGC, the University Grant Commission, all when they could have simply said no. Why do you think this happened, my friend? Why?
Gautam?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a political power play because if you take a look at the UGC norms, it is clearly stated that foreign universities can expatriate funds, which means that they can use Indians and India as a cash cow to fund their home branch.
Ankit?
Yes, expensive. Of course, they are expensive because cutting edge education, vocational training, and whatnot. You have job oriented courses. So I would prefer this any other day over an Indian educational system which just teaches you for the sake of a degree.
Gautam?
Let me stop my opponent right there. Let me debunk your mystery because it is not about bringing in foreign universities. It is not about succumbing to the illusion of foreign superiority. It should be rather about enhancing our own institutions. Remember, India was a country that once hosted Takshashila and Nalanda, where students from around the world came to India for education.
Ankit?
It's all about adopting and exchanging, my friend. Indians are always egoistic and it's high time we learn, high time we improve. We are known to have a beautiful examination system, but a very poor educational system. How would you counter that?
Let me also highlight the fact that the sheer lack of improvements in our education system is again because of the lack of a merit-based system in India where it is strictly funded by privilege. So I think the way around that is to actually improve the system starting from the deep grassroots level.
Ankit?
This is where I would like to remind you about a win-win situation. Now that people would prefer this well about foreign institutions, Indian institutions will start to compete. They will start to improve for the better.
Gautam?
Dear opponent, are you aware of the fact that foreign universities across the globe, wherever they have set up satellite campuses, have only milked the students of that particular country to fund their own home institution rather than focus on the development of that particular country? So doesn't this debunk your argument?
Exactly, and the cost is going to cut down when they come to our country. We will reduce the traveling charges, all the examinations you have to give in. And also, it brings about a concept of cultural cooperation.
Let me stop my opponent right there. It's not the case because according to the UGC guidelines, there is no need for a corpus fund when foreign universities comes to India, which means that they need not, number one, fund students who are underprivileged at any cost. Number two, they need not develop in the country. And I repeat, they need not redevelop their funds into the country, which means that India is losing out.
Yes, Ankit?
India is losing out. Of course, India is losing out. But then again, the concepts of racism, discrimination, or even a unidirectional cash flow, which can all be hindered by bringing in the foreign universities into the country.
Gautam?
Thank you, opponent, for admitting that India is losing out. My argument is the fact that, like my opponent said, racism and all these inequalities is going to be further exacerbated, because do we have reservations in these foreign universities? No. They have complete autonomy. Whatever syllabus or curriculum they decide is completely decided by themselves. The social situation or the situation of the country is not considered.
Disparity
The
will
whole
increase.
concept of reservation is flawed, my dear friend, just like the concept of cultural assimilation is. People from different communities, quotas, races, whatnot, they all come together under one roof and are exposed to cultural exposure or different teaching methodologies, which in fact will be for the betterment of themselves.
Cultural development.
At this point, I don't want to correct my opponent who has the flawed belief that reservation is not a meritocratic concept, or it's not a genuine concept, but let me highlight another point. If you take a look at foreign universities, their curriculum, if you take a look at how they are set with a clear bias. This is proved by numerous studies, numerous peer-reviewed journals have highlighted the sheer existence of inequalities in the curriculum alone, which is going to be a detrimental impact for India, and it's only going to increase brain drain.
It is biased.
If they
Yes. So Ankit and Gautam, your time has ended. Please do shake your hands before you leave the stage. Please give a big round of applause for Ankit and Gautam.
Federal Bank Speak for India, Kerala Edition Season 8 in association with Madhrbhoomi.